All right, folks, welcome back. Anna Nyakana, an accomplished singer, has written a new children's book entitled Niyah Zuri and the Pharaoh's Throne. It features multicultural characters, a heroine who leads them on a mystical, magical tour. Welcome.
Thank you.
Anna Nyakana, when you have a name like that, the book has got to be a success with that kind of name, right?
I hope so. I hope so.
That's a great name. So,
thank you.
Your history is pretty interesting.
Yes.
Do some background here. Your background, born in Germany, right?
Correct.
To a Ugandan dad, a German mom. So that would probably explain a lot why multiculturalism is important to you. Am I right with that?
Exactly. I am a woman of the nation, literally. I was born in Berlin, Germany. My mother is Moldavian and German. My father is from Uganda, which is in East Africa. And I grew up in a very diverse home. We immigrated to the States in the 90s, and I was cast into this American society, not speaking a lick of English, and having to find my own way and make friends. And you know, I thought this would be a great way to bring a story to children, to everyday kids, so they can see themselves in books. I just felt like there was that element missing from the market.
But now, before you got into book writing,
yes,
you were and are quite a singer, right?
I am.
Yeah,
I am where I was. I was promoting it for quite a few years. I self-released my album back in, I believe, 2007.
Are you still singing?
I am still singing to my own family,
right?
But I've been focusing more on writing, and now that my children's book is out, focusing on getting it to the kids in the schools.
Are you a better singer or writer?
Well, you tell me, Stan.
Well,
did you Google me?
Well, let's find. You know I Google you. Let's find out. Let's take a look. We YouTubed you.
Do you hear it? Do you hear it calling?
All right, this book's got to be pretty good. You had some pipes there. You did a lot of contests, and you did a lot of competitive singing.
I did.
So you walk me through why you decided to segue from singing, where you had I'll say great talent,
thank you,
to doing writing and focusing on, it seems, kids of color or multicultural images.
Yes.
Walk us through that transition.
Well, I noticed that there was a great need in the children's market. There are so many children's books out there, but less than 10% of them even have some sort of multicultural element to them. And at the same time, only, I believe, 5% of authors are even multicultural themselves, who produce all of these books. And I said, you know, I want children to be able to see themselves in books. I want them to be able to relate to them. I wish that when I was in elementary school, you know, in a completely new country, not knowing anyone, that I could pick up a book, walk into my local bookstore, and see a girl that looked like me.
Right.
You know, find out a story, find out that she's a strong-minded girl. She's fearless. She's able to inspire everyone around her. And that's where this idea and this passion came from, to be able to produce this book.
Yeah, as a kid, that was always irritating to me, to pick up books and never see anyone that looked like you. And if you went to a school that had some token books there, just to have it there. To what degree is that changing? We know the world is changing. We know the country itself is growing more diverse, right? In 20 or 30 years, you have people of color being the majority population. To what degree do you see things changing and people understanding that you need to be much more diverse in images when you're doing content?
Well, I see that a lot of the educators are trying to incorporate this element now in schools. They see that the faces of their students are changing. And it's not just one sort of ethnicity that are in private schools anymore, or in charter schools, or in magnet schools. It's a very diverse group. How can you, as an educator or a teacher, just teach the same story over and over again with the same exact face? You want to be able for your students to relate to what they're reading, to the content, in order to take something away from that.
But you have to have that consciousness, right? Because if all you know is all you know, you continue doing the same thing. For a lot of teachers, they don't know. It's not on their radar to think about having diverse faces, because they see folks who look like them, so they feel, well, this is fine.
Well, then the burden relies on the authors, right? The authors and also the other
parents, too. I think parents need to say, hey, you know, what do you got? And students can speak up and saying, where do people look like me?
But it's almost an ignorance. If you don't know, then how are you supposed to push this new element? You know, how are you supposed to make sure that it's at the forefront of your mind, to make sure I need to make sure that small girl in the front of my classroom knows that she has a strong character, someone that she can pull from, regardless of what's going on in her situation at home or in the school life.
We talk about reading. We know reading is a big challenge in schools, urban areas in particular. You know, it seems that one valid point is that kids don't see their images in their books, it's hard for them always to engage in those books, and vice versa. If you can give them content where they can see folks who look like them, have their experiences, you can engage them in reading. Your thought on that?
Absolutely. Well, as you notice, Niyah slightly looks like me.
Yes.
She slightly looks like me.
Folks can see that.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, a little bit of a similarity there. But I absolutely agree. Children need to be able to see themselves so they can relate to the characters. And you know, my second reason for writing this book, not only to bridge this gap in ethnicity and culture in books, but also the gender gap. There are not a lot of female lead characters.
You have a heroine, that's a good point,
exactly.
yes.
Every girl needs to know that she does not have to play that traditional princess or damsel in distress role. She can pick that sword up, she can slay that dragon, she can free herself.
Right, so you're really connecting with those girl power.
Girl power, absolutely.
So what's next? You have a book signing coming up sometime soon. Walk us through that real quick.
I have some book signings in the works. Actually, I'm very excited to kick off my first author event at IMS. It's in South Windsor. It's a Craig school, and that will be February 14th. I want to send a big thank you to Principal Tin and also 5th grade teacher Heather Bergeron for helping to organize this event. And I will tell you, Stan, that there is a very big announcement that's going to happen. I'm going to surprise the kids with something very special, but my lips are sealed, so you'll have to have me.
You can't break it right
now.
Here,
You'll have to have me back on the show to tell you exactly what happened.
You can't bring it to hold that back on us.
I'm going to hold that back. It's related to the second book that's already in the works, so it's going to be quite fun.
So how broad do you want to bring this Niyah Zuri? You want this to be sort of a worldwide thing? How big can this get? How do you increase your brand?
It is a book for the nations. It is a book that should be able to be in every classroom, from the small village in Mbarara or Kampala, Uganda, where my family is, to Berlin, to Japan, to China, to Brazil, and of course in America. So I want to get this in the curriculum, in the schools, have children see a reflection of themselves.
And more to come, perhaps. It may be a series, an expanded series, right?
Exactly.
I'm sure you don't want to tell me we got 5 seconds left. You don't want to give us any breaking news on this thing right now.
Well, no, not yet. But I just released the book trailer a few days ago and it has over 4,000 hits. People are saying, oh, we want to see more of this animation. I say, hey, Nickelodeon, Disney, give me a call. We'll see what we can do.
Give them a call. Which camera? 17? Disney, Nickelodeon. Give them a call. All right, the book is called Niyah Zuri and the Pharaoh's Throne, folks. Thanks to all our guests. Don't forget to catch our show on your own time. 24/7 at fox61.com/Stan. Friend us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter for the good folks here at Fox 61. I'm Stan Simpson. The morning news is next.